Yeah, I got 3 of them, 26, 27, 28.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just need 3 more. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. At my age, you ain't gonna. Now, at my age, I ain't gonna fool with them.
Now tell me, how long you been fooling around with race cars?
1951.
Wow. How did you get into it?
I was playing baseball and playing baseball at Stage Garden.
Right.
And Bobby Myers' garage was right up on the corner where the Kangaroos at. And go right by there every day to play ball. And I stopped there one day and got talking to Bobby. First thing you know, I was going to one of the races everywhere we went. I quit playing baseball.
What did you start doing? What kind of things did you do back in those days to help a guy out?
Well, changing tires, helping take the rear end out and put the rear end together. And when I met my wife that night, me and Bobby was over there, and she come in, she wants to see little Bobby. That's what she called me, little Bobby, because Bobby was big Bobby. And she come over here, she wants to see little Bobby, and that was in 52, 53, I guess it was. And we went the next day to Greensboro to the fairgrounds to race, and I'm 63, been 63 years I've been married to her.
Wow.
Same one. And I met her right up there with Bobby. Me and Bobby was working on the car. I was inside and Bobby was on the rear end, pulling the rear end out. That's the night that Bobby and Curtis Turner got into a war over there. And that was a long time ago.
Was.
And we're still together.
Wow.
And she still don't like race cars.
Does she even go?
Her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she worked it. Well, we had 3 boys, and she waited till I all got grown, you know, and she went to work up at Reynolds, and she worked a few years, like 15 years, I guess, over there. But, yeah, my whole family worked at Reynolds.
What was the racing like back in those days when you started, back through the 50s and 60s?
Well, it was a lot of fun. And if you want to do a little fighting, you can do it. But now you got too many police want to get involved in it. No, I mean, you know, it was wide open. And you got on a racetrack, you run as hard as you can. And if you got in the way, you just move them out of the way, you know. But you can't do that now. Well, you can maybe at Bowman Gray a little bit, but the old dirt tracks, that's the way it was. But I like to run dirt. I went over Bowman Gray a few times to race, but I always like to run on the dirt tracks. And
When did you drive?
Yeah.
A lot?
Yeah, not a whole lot. That was funny. Me and E.J. Brewer, we worked together a whole lot because E.J. had a driver's license, and I'd haul her where he wanted to go. And we built me a car and had it at Moore's house where I kept it. And all of it finished up, had my name on the car, I had put my name on. And Harry Leak called me over at the shop that day. Instead of looking at it, he said, Bob said, you ought to let me drive that thing. I said, okay. I ain't been in another. And why I said okay, I have no idea. But me and Harry Leak, we were pretty good friends, you know. He drove my old car, or mine here together, at the stadium quite a few years. And if you look in that book, the stadium book, you know, that Richard and somebody printed out, you see a 600 car upside down behind the rail.
Right.
That was it.
Who was driving it?
Harry Leak was in it.
Oh.
He was.
Do you
Yeah.
remember any? Did you get in any accidents that you go, okay, that's it, or why did you decide that you weren't going to drive anymore at some point?
I don't know. Harry Leak used to come over and ask me, he said, you won't let me drive that thing? And I said, okay. And, you know, I do things on the spur of the moment. But I got involved with go-karts for about 6, 8 years, and that's when they run the 2-socket motors. We run 2 and 3 motors on go-karts. I won all kind of championships in that. And, we run the Charlotte Speedway, a big track. We run Rockingham, a 1 mile oval. Run the VIR and Danville. And I think we ran 131 mile an hour at Charlotte about 50 years ago.
On the big track.
On go-kart, yeah.
On go-kart.
Yeah.
With his toe hooked into the one in front of him.
Oh yeah, you run along, put your foot behind the one in front of you, and man, you take off. Bing!
Drafted, man. Drafted.
Well, people wouldn't ever believe some of the crazy stuff like that I've done. The ones that got now just got 1 motor. But them things we run, they had 3 motors. I had 1 with 3 motors on.
A go-kart with 3 motors.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And 2-cycle, 3 2-cycle motors.
This is like a big old 3-cylinder engine.
Yeah, what?
It's like a big 3-cylinder engine.
What do you mean?
It's 3 different ones.
Yeah, 3-cylinder.
Yeah. Well, what's funny, there were 6 carburetors and 3 motors.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun.
That'd be fun to tune up. Get
Well-
it to work all in sync.
It was.
That'd be fun to get it to work together, get it to work right.
Well, you got the carburetor, but you just reach behind your head and adjust them, and it's kind of hard to get the one in the middle, but you reach both, reach by your head there and just keep it going, and you lay down flat on your back. Top of my head was 20 inches. Okay.
Man.
And that and that Formula 5 I drove, it was just a little bitty thing. You just barely could get it. Well, I had to buy a pair of hospital shoes because there was some clothes in the nose to get my feet, what my feet would cross the pedals, And last time I run that thing was at Raceway Park in Indianapolis. We run what they call the World Championship over there.
What years were you doing that?
About the 60s, I guess it was.
Wow.
63, 64. Hell, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what year it is now.
When did you step over into the real car rolling stuff? And
Well, I was doing that to start with.
Okay, yeah.
And,
And along with racing yourself?
Well, I tell you, I was over at Bowman Gray and watched them over on some go-karts one night. And I said, them fools crazy, them go-karts. And I said, ain't no way in the world I'd ride one of them things. And it wasn't a week that I was at a little rental track playing, and I liked it, so I went and bought me one. And from there it just went on. And I run all kind of championships. I was pretty good at it. That was. I don't know how many state championships I had. I got the East Coast Championship of 12 states, I believe it was. Yeah. And I won the national championship and got disqualified.
What happened?
I run the last lap on a flat tire. We were running at VIR, and you run, I don't know, 120, 30, I don't know how fast you go, just as fast as you go. And on the last lap, I come by the pits and I blow the tire, and it went sort of crazy, and when I made it all the way around the track and come in and through inspection, and this man walked up and says, was that tire flat when you come in? I said, yeah. I said, y'all saw it blow when I come by here a while ago. He said, well, you're disqualified. I said, why? He said, because you're disqualified. Now, I didn't know who he was. He happened to be the vice president of the IKF. And so I was. And kind of find out, he owned the go-kart that finished second. And I got that in black and white at home. Yep.
was that, you reckon?
I guess about 62 or 3, somewhere along it. I don't know exactly what year it was. But that was some of the crazy things I've done. And I've been messing with these old modifieds. Well, that's what Bobby had run.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, you're around a lot longer than some people. You know, I know you probably saw guys that had accidents and got hurt. Bobby lost his life in '57 in that wreck at Darlington.
Yeah. I was working on my race car when Bobby got killed. I listened to it on the radio. And and that was in the night that Billy got killed, Billy Myers. I was standing there at the rail, sort of, and me and Red Bowles. Everybody I think knew Red Bowles. And Billy come across the rail, and almost of where I was standing, me and Red Bowles were standing. I remember that. In fact, I had to run to keep from getting hit. And I've seen 5 drivers die in race cars.
At different places or all in the same place or different places?
No, I think 4 of them at Bowman Gray. And Kenny Miller was down Caraway. And it seemed like I was at Darlington. Buren Skeen, he got killed at Darlington. That's the one I didn't count. And it seemed like it was Joe Lee, not Joe Lee Johnson, or somebody.
Who was it that was killed the first night over at the stadium?
Oh, that's Bill Justice's boy. He got burned up. He had a gas tank inside the car or something and hit the guardrail and it's gone. And he couldn't even get out.
Those were the days when y'all were building the foundation for what we have today, which is relatively safe if you think about it.
Yeah, but anyway, he never even tried to even get out of the car because I think the gas just covered him up. And I know I was out on the track in the infield there, and the seat of his pants and belt was out there on the ground. And his shoes had burned on the inside. He had burnt completely up. That was in 51 or 52, I believe it was. 52. Yeah. I should have learned something then.
I was going to ask you, did any of that have any bearing on how much racing you did or what kind of cars you raced?
No, I didn't pay no attention to it.
You know,
I should have, but I didn't. But I don't know. I just got liking it, and I've always been a nut for like to do things like that. But that was back a long time ago, and Lord, there's no telling how many drivers I've had. One thing I was kind of proud of is I've had 4 rookies of the year at stadium. And they didn't start having a rookie of the year for, I don't know what year it was. But the last, I think 10 years I've had 4. Mike Adams, Bobo, Mike Bone, and there's another. I can't remember all the people.
what kept you from either jumping in and driving a stock car, NASCAR type deal, or
Did what
anything
now?
like that? Why didn't you jump into like a stock car race?
I don't know. I just felt like somebody could probably do better than I could, you know. I always liked running the dirt, and asphalt just wasn't my fancy, you know. And everything was going back them days of asphalt. We had a Bowman Gray and seemed like a track in Rockingham somewhere, I don't know. And one in Richmond, Virginia, back there somewhere. No, I just felt like it. If somebody else wanted to do it, go ahead.
What's kind of been the secret to Bowman Gray and it having all these fans that show up still every week, 10, 12, 15,000 people? Gotta be one of the most popular Saturday night racetracks across the nation. What's the secret there?
I don't know. The excitement and the wrecks and the little skirmishes, in the infield and down in the pits, it's what causes people to keep coming back. So the little over there, and like that old car there got banged up a little bit last week. Well, if it was done on purpose, well, that'd be a good reason to go back. You know what I mean?
Now, you talk about skirmishes. Did you ever have to find yourself in the middle of anything?
Yeah, a few times. I know the night that Bobby and Curtis Turner got into it, the night I might met my wife, we had a good one out in the infield. Because the way I heard it back in them days, Curtis Turner was being paid to wreck Bobby. It was about the second, third race of the year. And he come in first and second turn, Curtis Turner was sitting up in the grass. Well, people were throwing bottles at him back in there. That's before the stands went all the way around. They're throwing bottles right there across the track at him. So he moved around, going into the third turn, and when Bobby went by, he just hit the back wheel. And Bobby just coasted on up the grass, and he had his helmet off, a little bitty thing on the top of his head, and he hit Turner upside the head with his helmet, and Turner ain't moved yet. He just sat there and looked at him like he was a dummy. And Bobby started trying to drag him out of the car, and the first thing you know, we all got out there just playing around a little bit. You can call it playing, what you ought to. But yeah, that's the night I met my wife. Yeah.
So that's kind of a Bowman Gray tradition even with you.
You what?
That's just kind of a Bowman Gray tradition even with you.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean that.
Fight and then have a beer, right?
Huh?
You fight and then you drink a beer.
No, I didn't drink no beer. Not then. I drank a little bit later on, but.
Now, did you ever have a fight with anybody that you later made up, shook hands, and did do business
No, I wasn't big enough to fight. I had to run and sneak around if I was gonna hit anybody. I had to hit him and run, They only weigh for 115 pounds.
You had to feel like that to race those go-karts, I suppose.
Most of them fellas are pretty good fellas, pretty good size.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was a little bitty dude,
Maybe that's the problem with NASCAR these days, is all the guys that are driving are just little bitty fellas.
Yeah.
They don't have no scrapping.
Yeah, I don't like talking about this NASCAR because I don't believe in nothing they're doing. I'll be honest with you, I don't.
Hey,
Just take it. They're doing everything they can to keep people from going to the races. If you'll notice that Richmond, there wasn't 30,000 people there
yeah,
probably.
it's a tough one.
There are more people at Bowman Gray than Richmond.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I thought about that. According to what I read in the paper, there had been about 30,000 people, spectators. And the stand held 162,000 at one time.
Yeah,
And they started selling the stands off, selling the grandstands, they got it down to 60,000. And it's about half full.
that's just I don't know about that. Why that's a whole.
Well, racing is not for the spectators now, it's for the officials. They're having so much fun with penalties and stuff like that. You can't race because you're going to do something wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's orange spot out in the middle of the track. Who in the world sitting in a race car running 100 miles an hour is going to look for a little orange spot in the racetrack? Look how many people were penalized for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was stupid.
It is.
Right.
Everything you've done in the last,
Make the spot the wall.
well, everything you've done in the last 10 years, to me, not for my liking. No, I've enjoyed all of this, and I still do. I don't get around as much as I used to. I've had couple, 3 strokes, and
But there's got to be a secret to your longevity. I mean, you're almost 84 years old and
well, you
still
know,
kicking.
my mama lived to be 97. My grandma, almost 100. My daddy died at 84, and I'm the only one left in the whole family, and I'm 84. My brother died at 83. In other words, we lived a long life, the whole family. And
So we got 20 more years at Bowman Gray, right?
whatever, it don't matter to me. I mean, hey, I take it one day at a time. If I wake up, I'm alive. If I don't, bury me.